Okay, so we're looking at the Electric Ireland Minor All-Ireland Championships right now on OTB AM. Tommy Walsh is still with us. Kieran Donaghy's with us in studio as well. So we're going to kick off with the Electric Ireland Minor Hurler of the week. And there was only one game last week where Galway had beaten Clare to qualify for the Electric Ireland Minor All-Ireland Hurling semi-finals. There were 3 players up for contention, and the winner, as you can see there, with 64% of the vote, is Sean McDonough from Galway. Now, this might be a familiar name for anybody who was watching us this time last week, because it's the second week in a row he's won. An unbelievable talent, and one to watch for sure. Also, if you haven't heard, we're currently choosing the Electric Ireland Minor Jubilee team over the next 6 weeks on OTB AM. So we chose our goalkeeper earlier in the week, Donal Cusack, the best Electric Ireland Minor hurling goalkeeper for the last 25 years. This week we're trying to pick the best full back line from the last 25 years of minor hurling, and we're going to get into the contenders now. So some of the suggestions that have been sent in to us for the full back line are some names that we'll definitely remember. We'll get into the cornerbacks, we'll get into the full backs, like people who've actually won All Ireland's are kind of favourite in this regard. And Tommy, we may actually start with the cornerbacks. In terms of the minor cornerbacks you've seen over the last 25 years, who sticks out?
Yeah, so just, trying to look at the list, I suppose, over the last couple of days. And for the right cornerback, I suppose, we're looking at 4 guys. And there was many to choose from. Mickey Cahill from Tipperary was the first one. John Dalton from Kilkenny the second. Ronan Maher from Tipperary the third. And a guy called Brian O'Mahony was the kind of guy I added probably to the list. If we started with him, Brian O'Mahony was playing cornerback when I was hurling that time. A truly outstanding cornerback, really fast. He was a left-hander from Galway. I'm sure he won an All-Ireland or two, because most of them guys that played with Galway did win a few All-Ireland. So he was brilliant, and definitely has due a nomination from myself anyway. He was the guy you used to always put on the best corner forward.
Who else have we got then?
So then from Kilkenny, John Dalton. I suppose from my experience, I played with Dalton with Kilkenny. He was definitely the unluckiest defender I remember, because he had everything to make the Kilkenny team, and just I suppose because Kilkenny kept winning, maybe Brian and the management team weren't changing around that backline, because he was a brilliant performer every day in training session. If you asked any of the Kilkenny forwards over the 15 years from 2000, we'll say 4 or 5 on, they could never get the better of this guy. Truly efficient. He could play it anyway, from the front, from behind, high or low. And he won an All-Ireland in 2003, and a brilliant player. So he deserves his nomination. Mickey Cahill then from Tipperary. Again, this guy went on and won Fitzgibbon Cups with UCC. Thurles Arsees, he probably has 9 or 10 county finals. This guy, again, if you notice any of these guys that are making teams, they're able to play it both ways. They're able to mark the good corner forward, or they're able to go out and hurl 100 balls. Mickey Cahill was one of those. We've seen him with Tipperary in the senior team, won All-Ireland 2010, and was definitely really struggled with injuries. And if he didn't struggle with the injuries he struggled with, or he wasn't hampered the way he was hampered, he would have went on and become one of the best senior cornerbacks of all time, because he was outstanding, especially in the modern Croke Park where you need legs. Mickey Cahill he had the speed of a racehorse, and definitely deserves his nomination as well. And the last lad is Ronan Maher. 2012, Willie Maher, I think, mentioned that himself and John McGrath were his best players during that whole season when they won the All-Ireland. And Ronan Maher, we've all seen, he's still producing the goods, probably the best line guy to take line balls in the game at the moment. And again, a couple of county finals with SARS, and really outstanding cornerback.
So we're going to put those,
my nominations for 2.
Good stuff. We're going to put those names up as a poll. That's the nominees for right cornerback, and it's quite a list. Brian O'Mahony, Michael Cahill, John Dalton and Ronan Maher. We'll move on to full-back. Tommy, who are you looking at here? Full-back
then, I don't have as many. There's, I suppose, 2 real guys. I mentioned Daithí Burke and Willie Phelan from Kilkenny, 2 guys kind of that have to be mentioned because they were outstanding full-backs. But I narrowed it down to 2, and that was John Tennyson and Paddy Maher. Paddy Maher was, I suppose, your marquee. He was your I suppose, star player from since he was a young age. Has went on and has had a glorious career with Tipperary. He's a 9 out of 10 defender every day of the week, and he was the same as a minor. Looking back at the All-Ireland, he played in 2 All-Irelands, but he went back and kept Joe Canning scoreless from playing one of the All-Irelands. So he deserves huge credit from that. Then you have John Tennyson from Kilkenny. John Tennyson, I think he had his appendix out a couple of weeks before the All-Ireland in 02 or 03. Still went on and played a man in a match display. Tennyson played in 5 senior All-Irelands. He was a guy that loved the big day, a big powerful presence, and that's what you need on these teams, especially at minor. So Tennyson was outstanding, brilliant in the air. He was a kind of a daddy figure, a leader really. He was that kind of a guy. So he deserves his nomination. So John Tennyson and Paddy Barr would be me standout fullbacks.
That's quite the face-off as well, and our face-off for the front. These are unbelievable names. You kind of forget how...
Would like to be picking between the two of them?
No, absolutely not, but the public are going to have to do it. We're going to finish up with the left cornerback, Tommy. Is this a completely different list, it is?
It is, yeah. So left cornerback, Ollie Canning, Sean Finn and Johnny Cohn. So, and I was looking down through the list of guys that played in All-Irelands. The zero, we were talking about the Féile there. A lad that played against us in that Féile final was a guy called Kevin Goggins. And I'm sure it's the same guy. I see him cornerback in the Cork team that won the All-Ireland in 0-1. So it must have been him from the Sarsfields Club in Cork. He was an unbelievable player. So he definitely deserves a kind of another nomination, if you like. But the 3 guys I chose have been Ollie Canning, Sean Finn and Johnny Cohn. Ollie Canning went back, he played as a forward, but went back cornerback in the 94 All-Ireland. I think they were playing Cork, and back among their marquee players, and had one of the great finals, according to Matty Kenny, who was the manager at the time. So Ollie Canning, he probably went on, and along with Jackie Tyrrell, probably one of the best cornerbacks of the modern era, one of the best number 4s, because Ollie Canning marked Owen Kelly once up in Pearse Stadium in a qualifier in the senior, and scored a point from cornerback. Now this was the day when cornerbacks played cornerback. They didn't go up the field, and that was the type of player Canning was. So he definitely deserves nomination. Sean Finn then won a Munster with Limerick. They were very good underage, but didn't go on and win an All-Ireland. Sean Finn was, like he is now, just a real powerful cornerback. And then Johnny Cohn, even though he's a midfielder now, won All-Ireland with Galway, and I think it was 09 or that. So he deserves his nomination, cornerback.
Tommy, you're a living encyclopedia. Thanks a million for joining us this morning.
Thanks, lads.
Good stuff, Tommy.
So we're going to give you one more chance to influence the decision on our minor Jubilee team. We're going to stick up a poll with contenders on Twitter, and we leave them rolling all weekend so you can get your votes in. The Electric Ireland minor Jubilee full backline then will be revealed next Tuesday morning right here on OTB AM. Just to let you know then what's happening in the Electric Ireland Minor Championships. It's All-Ireland Hurling semi-finals this weekend, broadcast live on TG Cahir. On Saturday, you've got Limerick against Kilkenny at 4 o'clock, and then on Sunday, you've got Wexford against Galway at 1:30. There's also 4 Electric Ireland Minor All-Ireland football quarter-finals this weekend. On Saturday, you've got Mayo against Dublin and Kildare against Galway. And then on Sunday, you've got Monaghan against Cork and Kerry against Tyrone. Tyrone, the last team to beat Kerry in the Electric Ireland Minor Championships, I think, that day in 2013 in Cork Park. Kerry going for 34 in a row or something like that at the moment. So just a reminder then, the contenders: right cornerback, Brian O'Mahony, Michael Cahill, John Dalton, Ronan Maher. At full back, you got John Tennyson up against Paddy Maher. At left cornerback, you got Ollie Canning against Sean Finn against Johnny Cohn. So get voting now on Twitter. So coming up next, we're going to be focusing back on the golf and everything else that's happening this morning on OTB Sports Radio.